Without a shadow of a doubt, it's the Crunkest Show in social media history. I want to welcome you to another episode of the War Zone, Real Black Media. I want to say what's up to my man, Donovan Sadiq. We got the Queen, Demetra K, and I am the 5-star general. Say, man, they shot Lisa Simpson's son 35 times in L.A., in Nicholson Garden. They lied and said he had a gun. He didn't have a gun. And then they shit on the family. And last but not least, Black Lives Matter. We got another goddamn problem with you. Let's go. I want to welcome you all to another episode of the War Zone and tell you thank you for tuning in. You guys know that you're the best audience in the world. And without y'all, we wouldn't have a show. So we appreciate y'all tuning in. I want to start off by saying this here, man. I see black people are appalled at what they saw yesterday. Why? You thought it was a game? You thought you were part of something, huh? And y'all still waking up today making excuses for these folk because we don't need to have separation. Well, I'm separated. And I'm kicking with my people for right now. I can't ride with them because I don't know who to trust. You know, none of that right now. So what I'm gonna say is this here. You should not be appalled as a black person with what you saw yesterday for one reason. You voted these people in. You've allowed these people to sit there. You've allowed this racism to exist forever. So now you want something else. You want something different, right? Don't work like that. Donovan, what's going on, my friend?
All right, you guys, welcome to the Thursday edition of the War Zone. As breaking news, about 15 to 25 minutes ago, the President of the United States made a statement after hunkering down in his bunker as the insurrection was happening. Now, if you watch the statement, he said that they're going to hunt down all of those people that tried to subvert democracy, and if you're connected to it, we're going to bring you to justice. Well, it's a crime to even incite an insurrection. So that would mean Rudy Giuliani, his son, and himself. So, but the Biden administration has said, once again, they are looking forward, not back. And again, if we start prosecuting presidents and their predecessors, it would expose America as what it really is, which is a third world country. And also, Joe Biden named Merrick Garland as his AG. And guess who he put as the head of the Civil Rights Division? A lady named Gupta. Where are all of these Indian people coming from? Now, the last I checked, there is not enough Indians in the United States, in the United States to get this man elected. Now, with all the black shootings happening across the United States, and we're going to be talking about one in particular tonight, wouldn't it make sense that you would put a black person into the Civil Rights Division to talk about and fix the problem with police brutality? But once again, you black folks, you vote for oppression. We put this guy in, you make him president, and he gives us inconsequential cabinet positions that will not help us as a people. Demetra?
So hello, beautiful people. Welcome to Thursday night edition of the War Zone, where the world is still kind of upside down from yesterday's events and everything like that. But tonight we are going to talk to Miss Lisa Simpson in regards to the murder of her son by LAPD. So you guys bear with us here. We're going to have a great conversation with her in regards to the police department and Black Lives Matter. So, Gary? Oh, wait, one more thing. If you guys can share. so that everybody else can get the information and join in on the conversation. All right.
Y'all know what Nicholson Gardens is. If you ain't never been there, you'd have seen it. It's where they shot Menace to Society. You know what Nicholson Garden is, man. This lady's son was in Nicholson Garden. And her being a mama, she woke up one morning and didn't expect to go to bed that night. And her child be shot 35 times. 70 shots. And he gets hit 35 times. And nobody does nothing. They don't want to do anything. They want to lie. They want to plant evidence. You see what I'm saying? But see, this ain't the average mom here. You know, she got a hood education just like 5-star. She got a PhD in common sense. You see what I'm saying? And she's a licensed paralegal. So this ain't the average mom. This ain't the mom that's finna come on here and placate with you. She ain't finna play with you. She gonna tell you exactly what it is and how it go down. Let me unmute my friend. Unmute your mic for me, sweetheart.
How you doing, 5-star general?
I'm good.
How you
Mama.
doing, Queen? How you doing, sir? I'm happy that y'all had me on y'all show.
In case some people
to
don't
bring
know,
awareness about my son's death by LAPD and how I was treated by Black Lives Matter LA chapter, Melina Abdul.
In case y'all don't know the backstory, I met Lisa during the time of the George Floyd protests in Minneapolis. We met at IHOP and we communicated with each other and we traded information. And she reached out to me, but I'm gonna kind of let Lisa. And I know you long-winded, girl, so you're gonna have to go into this thing.
Okay.
Give us a brief synopsis of what happened to your son.
July 25th, 2016, he was in the Nicholson Gardens with a few of his peers. The police had rolled through earlier that day. They came back the last time, 5 minutes before their shift was over. They came to the back way of the projects instead of the front. One of the little young guys out there ran up to him and was like, you can search me, I don't have a gun. He hollered out my son's name and said, run, Rich, run. My son took off running. By the time the police got to where my son was at, he was already at the end of the parking structure. So they chased him supposedly through the projects, and he supposed to jumped over a fence or a wall, they don't remember, with a gun. He hopped over a 6-foot cast iron gate with a gun. He jogged. He's supposed to have shot a police officer that was never shot. When I got the phone call at 11:30 at night that my son got killed by LAPD, I lived in Apple Valley, which is 88 miles away from LA. So I drove down on the scene. They wouldn't let me in. They had it blocked off. They had 8 arms connected with each other, and they pistols, their hands on one of their pistols. And when I got off the freeway, I just jumped out the car running. They never let me in to see my son until the next morning. They let me see from his chin to his forehead. They told me that my son had got killed in friendly fire when I got on the scene. And the chief of 108th precinct, because I wouldn't leave, he told me that it was going to be a long time. I said, what is time when I got a dead son? The next day, my son became a suspect, but they can't tell me what he was a suspect of. This is my 5th year fighting now. I'm still fighting. I just spoke to my attorney this morning, and found out that they didn't want to go with the judge that decided that it was too many inconsistencies in their stories. And he said he couldn't side the case, that the jury would have to side the case. But due to the COVID, it had pushed everything back. So yesterday they put it back on the table. They don't want the judge to side the case. They want me to do a jury trial. So if this COVID thing go away, I should be going to court in May. I'm not letting down. I'm not bagging down. It's not a dollar they can give me to suffice me for the death of my son. I'm going to fight them with everything I got in me. You know, they call me crazy. A lot of people in the fight call me crazy. But me being who I am and who God made me to be, I'm winning my case. You feel me? And a lot of people don't understand that. That's what they want you to do. They want you to back down. They want you to, after they slander and defamate your character everywhere, they want you to blame yourself for the death of my son. But I just can't do that when I know that I'm living amongst the most notorious gang-banging force And on this planet is LAPD. You feel me? This ain't their first rodeo. They told me that my son case gonna be like the Rampart scandal because these police officers, they lied in their statement. They made up shit. It's just sad to really that the officer that killed my son, he never knew my son.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. Have they offered you any type of settlement?
Yeah, when I went to mediation in August, they offered me $5,000 to drop the charges on two of the officers and only focus on the one officer that actually killed my son.
Donovan?
You talking to me?
Either one of y'all.
Oh. Yeah, so I was just reading just a moment ago. Gary, can you mute the mic? There you go. Thank you. I was reading over the case, and admittedly, this is when Gary first told us you were coming on. This is the first time I heard about it, but it sounds like there is so many inconsistencies because from what I was reading, they're saying they found a gun. I guess it was supposedly thrown in a bush somewhere. But, you know, it sounds like he didn't have a gun. But you know what? As you said, LAPD, they are the real true gangsters. They are the true thug. I mean, we know, especially in the 90s in the Rampart division, you know, they got caught up with a whole bunch of lies, put innocent people in prison, maimed people, killed people, dope dealing, and all of that. And so what role do you think their history will play in your son's case?
God put it on my heart to tell me I need to start just telling everything because they gonna keep on lying, so I'm gonna keep on sharing the truth. When I was a newborn, they killed my grandfather, LAPD. He was in the military. He had his own barbershop, and he wouldn't do what they wanted him to do in Watts. So one night when he was coming home, he got in his car. They set his car on fire. My cousin Roy LaMelle Jr. in 1999, he was one of the first black people that they killed in plain sight. He was jogging by the college downtown Los Angeles, Trade Tech. He jogged by there every morning. He worked out and he got up and jogged. Supposedly it was a robbery suspect, and they killed my cousin. So this is like the third person in my family that I've had attraction with LAPD.
And so they've cleared the officers. It sounds like the officers that were involved in murdering your son. So they were cleared. So where's your case now?
Well, right now I'm going to civil case. Jackie Lacey, she justified him, but she also said before she justified him, she said that they that the police tactics was out of policy. But when they killed my son, they was in policy. And like I told him, I said, so if I go rob a bank and I cause a person in the bank to have a seizure, but I help that person, do that make me right now? They gave these officers promotion. Zagosa, the one that initiated the chase, he's now the homicide detective for 77 Police Department. The officer Fernandez that killed my son, he's now over the gang unit in Watts. And 3 years before he killed my son in the Nicholson Gardens, he killed somebody else's son in the Jordan Downs. So it's like, this guy he the assassin. You know, they try to tell me he was a rookie, but he's been on the force for 6 years when he killed my son. So what's so rookie about that?
So you mentioned Jackie Lacey, you know, I'll just go out and say, you know, she's a horrible, horrible woman. She is a black woman at that, but was super pro-police, and she just lost her seat. And so how do you think that'll play into the civil suit with the new district attorney? He's supposed to be, you know, more pro the people. So do you think him taking office will be instrumental?
He not. You talking about Michael Gaskin? He just like the rest of them clowns, bro. He was the chief of police for Mesa, Arizona. After he left Mesa, Arizona, he was the ex-assistant chief of police of Los Angeles, where our children got killed at. Then he left LA and he went to San Francisco and he was the chief of their police department. And when they killed Mario Woods, he didn't do a goddamn thing. So I blame Black Lives Matter for the nigga being in Los Angeles anyway, And she the one had all the mothers, Melina Abdullah and the people doing videos talking about if you can't walk, we'll push you down there in a wheelchair. So you gonna go endorse a pig to pig the police? That shit ain't gonna work for me. I don't like that cat. I'm gonna tell that cat when I see him too. He better get ready too, because I ain't playing with none of them. Not with the death of my son. After his officer shot 70 shots at my son, I don't know why he the DA. I ain't never knew in my life police gonna police the police. That ain't gonna happen. Not in America.
So also, it says, I guess, while you were at court, or maybe it's a city hall meeting, I guess they said you threatened somebody, and they were wanting you to give up your gun rights. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Oh yeah, well, when I went to the commission board meeting, I asked the chief of police, Charlie Beck, if I lead a police commission board meeting to kill a few of his officers, will we be even, since they ain't telling me who killed my son? So Hispanic guy in Palm Springs, October 2016, had killed 2 cops, and a white dude in Lancaster, October 2016, that killed the cop. The top people of the police, I guess the Police Bill of Rights, they wrote a 2-page letter on me, said that the choice of words that I used at the commission board meeting made strangers go out in the streets and kill police. So they labeled me a terrorist. They put a gun violence restraining order on me. They went through 4 different counties to try to get this restraining order on me, and none of them would bite but Riverside County. And then they did a RTO to transfer the case from Riverside to Los Angeles, but I lived in San Bernardino County.
Real quick before I give it to Donovan, it's just how funny that they want to label you a terrorist and say that you incited a riot, but we just had a whole president have his people storm the Capitol and, go ham. And so it took them a very long time to label him that for what all the things that he's done. It's all crazy. So Donovan?
Oh my goodness. Like I said, here we go with a very, very sad situation that happens all the time in our community. Now, let me give everybody a quick background a little bit. Nickerson Gardens, not only is it famous for a lot of movies, a lot of artists have come out of Nickerson Gardens. So Jerry, we don't have a farm team like Houston does, but we do have some stars that come out of that area. I believe the Whispers came out of Nickerson Garden, and the Silvers, which was on parallel with the Jackson 5 back in the day. So we have some little talent that came out of just that little area there. But let me ask you this, Ms. Simpson. When our loved ones are gone, they're gone. So could you define for us, what is your idea of justice? I mean, what do you plan to get out of this? Because, God rest his soul, we can't bring him back. So what is it that you would like to do in regards to bringing justice to his situation, and what's going to make you whole again? I mean, there's no way you're going to be whole, especially as a mother. There's just no way you're going to be whole. But, what's your idea of justice?
Well, my idea of justice is just us. But I'm pushing the line for ceasefire. I want them to cease fire on all of us, because I understand that my son is already dead, but I'm trying to save all these children, men, women, and children of all denominations, because our children is our future. And I feel like in every other country, if they can just carry a baton and don't have no crime in their country, they can do that to us too. When my son died, y'all, it was hard for me to bury my son. So I got my own foundation now. My mission statement is to raise $100,000 so that I can bury these men, women, and children that have been impacted by law enforcement all over the world, because it was hard for me to bury my kid. And I feel like if I can take that type of strain off of any family, then I'm helping to get part of some type of justice. You feel me? Because it ain't no accountability on use of deadly force nowhere on American soil, and it'll never be. And they have statutes that say that they supposed to kill Black people in a cruel and unusual fashion without no due process, and it don't say no other race but Blacks. And that's Vanderbilt 1972, the Defense of Life doctrine. They have to use that doctrine when they kill us with the self-defense doctrine. That's why they say they fear for their life.
Okay, well, you're absolutely right. Another misconception that we get from society, and like you said, how they label you and assassinate your character is that oh, you're from the hood or whatever. Because I'm out here in Moreno Valley, which is LA East, because everybody's been gentrified out of LA coming this way. But you're from these areas and they think you're not intelligent, and you come off very well versed. You know what you want to do, you know where you want to go. Riverside, which is the county that I'm in, police department is very, a lot of people aren't aware how vicious these police departments are here in California. A lot of these police chiefs, Acevedos is in Houston right now, and he started his career in LAPD. And now he's out in Houston, busting heads out there and using the same tactics that he used and learned right here. So moving forward with your foundation, or not your foundation, but your case, how many groups have come to your defense and to come help you? Is there any NAACP? Is there any Urban League? Is there any Al Sharptons, Benjamin Crumps, anything like that?
No, none of them don't help me because I got a voice. See, I'm not silent, and I didn't let nobody be the narrative of the death of my son, because I didn't just have one son. I got 3 sons and 2 daughters, and they never came and asked me how my other children was doing after the impact of the death of their brother. My youngest child was 7 years old when his big brother got killed. I went and stood with Black Lives Matter because I thought that was an entity that was going to really help me with the death of my son. I slept on the streets with these people. And the favor that they did for me is they had me do a interview with Jill Stein, the Green Party presidential candidate, 19 days after my son was dead and buried in the wall. And they reciprocated benefits, kicked me out the encampment, and I never reciprocated none of the benefits. And then talked bad about me, slandered me to N and everybody that would listen to whatever they had to say about me.
So what you telling me is they used the death of your son, they used you sleeping out with the homeless, made money, and your family didn't see a dime of it. Black Lives Matter.
Not 1 cent. Not 1 cent. And then my 19-year-old, she never wanted to fight for her brother at first. She got the courage last year to fight for him. She called me and asked me, could she go to a protest, but didn't tell me who she was protesting with. She went down there with Black Lives Matter and Melina Abdullah, and she called all the people up there and said, if you lost a loved one, we don't say your loved one name. When it got to my daughter and she said my son name, the lady told my daughter, no, we're not saying individual names. We don't say them collectively. And had my baby crying.
So we had Rice's mother on a couple days ago. Last week we had Tamir Rice's mother on, and she also spoke of a negative experience with Black Lives Matter. Why do you think they do that? They use people's names and then kick them to the curb once it's all said and done. Do you think it's a money grab for them? What's their motive?
It's money. It's money. It's so sad because I was out at the time, when you lose somebody that's close to you like that, at the time you'd be vulnerable. So if they would have gave me the money just on the strength of the type of person I am, I would have shared the money with them. It's just sad that we losing our children out here. They come into our life and act like, oh yeah, we for you, we gonna help you. As soon as we put our kids in a wall or in the ground or put them in an iron, you'd never hear from Black Lives Matter no more. They don't come into your life to help you. George Floyd got killed in May. When I met 5-star General, I drove all the way from California to Minneapolis, Minnesota to stand in solidarity with them families. Melina Abdullah, right now as we speak, y'all, she got a GoFundMe fund out right now. She asked for $1 million in the name of George Floyd, somebody she don't know, and the 626 families of Los Angeles that has been impacted by law enforcement agencies. And she's sitting on damn near $4 million and won't do nothing for no family in California. I was on a Zoom with me, her, and Samir. We asked her what she was gonna do with the money. She said she didn't have no agenda. When Samir told her you only asked for $1 million, why didn't you stop the GoFundMe fund? She hung up the phone in our face. She came back on the Zoom and asked me what did I think they should do with the money. I said they should pay all of the 626 families that have been killed by law enforcement agencies and LAPD and LA Sheriff, and they told me no. And told me they wasn't giving me back none of the money that they took from me for the death of my son.
So what is it going to take to expose Black Lives Matter? Because there's been a few people saying that, you know, they take the money and run. So what is it going to take to expose them and get the word out? Because we know, especially during the George Floyd protests and everything like that, they raised about $1.6 billion. And no one really knows what they did with it. So what is it going to take to really just make people aware of what they're doing?
Well, I put the video out because I had the receipts to prove it. It's on YouTube. I put the video out, but all them chapters of Black Lives Matter, none of them believed it. When I was putting the video out 2 years ago, how they robbed me, they was telling all the families that I was crazy, don't deal with me. Oh yeah, she's psycho. But soon as last year, when Patrice Cullors decided to change it to Black Lives Matter Global Network and made herself the executive of that whole shit without involving them and dropped them 15 chapters, everybody wanted to talk to the mother of Lisa Simpson about how Black Lives Matter robbed me. But when I put it out there, nobody didn't want to hear that shit. So guess what I told them? I don't want to hear nothing y'all got to say. As long as y'all was getting a piece of that pie, oh yeah, all y'all was disrespecting the mother of Richard Fisher, but now y'all ain't getting no more of that cake. Now y'all want a story. Well, I got a story for you. Suck my dick when I grow one. How about that?
Well, let me ask you this. You know, the legal ramifications, you've been fighting for your son for over 5 years now. Do you think that the way the system is set up, that if you don't take the settlement, which they try to force on you almost immediately, I don't know about you, but I have 2 sons, and there's no amount of money that you can give me that is gonna just let me just forget everything and just go on with my life. This is not gonna happen. Do you think that they make you do this and go through this long process to just wait you out until you get tired and you just go away? Or, you know, I mean, what is your take on how this system works for you to get your justice?
Bullshit. They gonna tell you this. They gonna put the gag order on you. And it's so sad because a lot of people don't understand that in order for them to put a gag order on you, you have to be presented in front of a judge, and a judge has to tell you that you can't talk about the death of your child. Not quid pro quo. Your lawyer give them this and they give you that. No, that shit don't work like that. So when they did me like that, I told my lawyers that I wanted to file a habeas corpus because I felt like they made me sign them papers under duress. So they was like looking at me like, damn, how she know about all that? Well, if we do that, they gonna push it back. These motherfuckers pushed it back anyway. They pushed it back so cold to where I couldn't even depose the internal affairs because I was supposed to depose them by 2018, but by them kept appealing it and appealing it and appealing it. When it got time to depose these cats for accepting the lies and still giving them promotion, I couldn't even do it. But the good thing about it is, see, I say God is good all the time, and all the time he good. They got about 25 to 30 witnesses on this case, right? But by them kept pushing it back and pushing it back and pushing it back and pushing it back, they just got 25 to 30 witnesses. They can't use not one of them. See, I'm a firm believer when you do know you did something right, you ain't got to start with the makeup to cake up. See, don't build no birthday cake on the death of my son. Keep it real. You killed my motherfucking son. You assassinated him. And you thought I was from the Nickerson Gardens and I was going to go away. And when you found out that I was a Black educated woman with integrity, that's when you started saying, oh shit, this nigga crazy. I damn sure is. I'm crazy about all 5 of my children. Like I told my lawyer, I'm a walk, fight, and fuck fire for all 5 of mine. Right, wrong, or indifferent. We'll deal with the indifference after we win this fucking case, period.
I most definitely love your fighting spirit. It is so nice to see, you know, someone with your attitude. A lot of times when we see our people in the media, especially, and their loved ones have been gunned down, they're usually pretty apologetic and, you know, they're telling everybody to be peaceful and all of that kind of stuff. So what is your motivation? I mean, I know, you know, part of it has to be your son being murdered in, you know, wholesale by the police, but what keeps you going? What keeps you with that fighting spirit?
What keeps me with the motivation and the fighting spirit, I'm going to keep it real with you. Today is my son's birthday. He's 12 years old. He was 7 when his brother got killed. He give me the fighting spirit because he always say, Mama, you can't stop fighting because I need to know why they really killed my brother. So that make me be like, well, damn, my baby only 11 years old and he want to know what happened. I'm the mother, shit. I should be wanting to know what happened then. And that's the problem with a lot of these parents that's in this fight. I'm going to just tell the truth and shame the devil. They want to sit up here and smile and grin in these senators' faces, these legislator faces, these congressmen faces and all that. See, first off, you got to know this is who the police work for. These is they bosses that you're talking to. They know what happened in your situation, but they just trying to shuck and jive your ass so you can get out their face and they ain't got to talk about it. Nobody in this fucked up country want to talk about the death of our black and brown children that are getting slaughtered by these people that's supposed to protect and serve. See, a lot of people don't know that the police real job is to protect this corporation and arrest the code breakers like myself. They ain't never here to protect and serve the people. How you gonna protect and serve the people when you trying to protect and serve these goddamn buildings that your bosses got all this money into? That's what it's about. See, ain't no politics, it's politics. That shit that they did yesterday, that shit was designed. Like I said, when y'all gonna shoot somebody? When somebody gonna get arrested? Motherfucker saying, oh, why you wanting to shoot somebody? I said, because guess what? As a black man, you don't get a warning shot. We would have got, it'd have been blood juice all over the grass of the Capitol. We wouldn't even made it to the building. But they can just let these white people, white supremacists do whatever they want to do. So from this day forward, I've been telling my brothers and sisters by the masses of the people, I'd rather you get caught with it than without it. Fidel Castile did everything they asked him to do, and that young man lost his life. Fuck all that. They killing us. We got to start doing to they ass what they doing to us, and that's the only way this shit gonna stop.
Oh, let me say this here. You know, they shot a lady yesterday, and everybody was hitting me, man. What you think? She didn't comply. She didn't comply. Ain't that the way it's supposed to go? Now, you said a mouthful earlier. Let's go back to what you told the police, you know, people when you went to that meeting. This is my belief, that if a cop wakes up and realistically feels that if they murder one of us, somebody would murder somebody in their family, they would think twice about pulling that trigger. There has to be consequences for their actions. Now, we know that the government is not going to give them any consequences. So am I advocating for shooting cops? Nope. What I'm saying is we need to be nonviolent with those that are nonviolent with us. What's your opinion?
Same. I ain't gonna even lie to you, 5-star general. I feel the same because it's like, I mean, y'all gonna just keep killing us, and we just sit back and be too goddamn complacent for me. Because I feel like this for 401 years, they've been slaughtering the shit out of ass. What are we going to the voting polls for? We voting for them to kill us even more? Because none of them don't give a fuck about us. You seen that shit yesterday. They about they self and self only. When we gonna start being about ourselves? See, we ain't in slavery. It's just that a lot of our people got enslaved ass mindsets. That's the problem. They don't want to look out the box. They want to stay in the box, and then they want to complain while they stuck in the goddamn box. Black Lives Matter ain't shit. Antifa ain't shit. Trump ain't shit. Biden ain't shit. Carmelita Harris ain't shit. And for the record, she ain't no black woman. That bitch is an Indian. So they should tell the truth, because she ain't finna do shit for us. When she was a prosecutor in California, she still got a lot of black men and women on death row that ain't never did shit, and she ain't releasing them. Everybody talk about Biden. They don't know what Biden did to California. He came to California and made the 3-strike law. A black man went to jail for some kids giving him a piece out of the beach. But these the motherfuckers they want in office though. Oh shit.
So, yeah, I feel your passion in that. And another thing, They tried to assassinate your character. They tried to assassinate your son's character. They tried to assassinate Ahmaud Arbery's character, George Floyd's character. But the lady that got shot yesterday for not complying, they've yet to assassinate her character. But if it was a black person, they would, hold on a second, hold on. You're going to have to say that over as soon as I get through. But they have yet to assassinate this woman's character. They've not said anything derogatory about her. You know what was amazing to me is that when they tried it with George, with the porno tape, say, man, you know how many of us wanted to be George in the porno movie? Fuck what you talking about. But this is what they do. So what do you think about the character assassination, Miss Lisa?
Well, what they do is I don't like that, because I feel like you don't even know me. So how can you assassinate my character? You kill my son, but you talk negative about me. You kill my son, you talk negative about my son. How do you assassinate a person's character when your characteristics is fucked up? The police characteristics is fucked up. Y'all going around killing these children, and y'all got these body cams, and y'all going back inside the precinct, and y'all showing these body cams, and y'all all laughing about y'all killing our children, but you want to slander and defamate somebody's character. But when we come at y'all characteristics, they make every excuse. I challenge every family that lose their family members to the police. Tell your attorneys to do a pictures motion on their ass so you can pull out all the bad shit on their ass. Don't stop just at civil. They'll tell you can't file criminal charges. I know how we can get justice. All you got to do is follow me. I'm going to tell y'all, follow me, and I can help everybody that case is closed, get their case back open. Y'all going to the UN, that's the wrong place to go. Y'all going to the DOJ, that's the wrong goddamn place to go. You need to go to We the People. We the People. They tell you, they challenging us because they don't think that we smart enough to know. They want you to get 100,000 signatures in 30 days for them to be able to have a conversation with you. You can't do this petition by yourself. It got to be families collectively so you can get them 100,000 signatures in 30 days, and they can't not turn you down from having that conversation about the death of your child. We the People is where we going to get justice at. All these other cats, they ain't trying to hear shit we got to say, period.
Donovan?
Yeah, you know, I mean, you're on fire tonight. I mean, you are telling it the way it is, and that's how it needs to be told. You know, no sugar, no coating. You know, our people need to hear the damn truth. But do you think because you are Nickerson Gardens, that because that's where you reside, that the police officers feel that you don't matter, and people who live in public housing don't matter? Because it just seems to me it's almost like you guys are in concentration camps. And you know, I have a military background, and it's like, well, she lives in public housing, which is another assassination of your character. They try to say, well, you know, you don't matter because you live over here. Do you think that is one of the biggest problems across the nation as they put us in these housing areas? Because they ain't going to give us our reparations. They're not going to give us our money. We lack resources in our communities. And because, you know, there are some people out there that will say, well, if you love your kids so much, why do you keep them in the hood? But people don't understand, you know, everybody's situation is different, and your situation is your situation. And again, just because you live in public housing, everybody needs a hand step up, or you know, and a help and all this other stuff. The whispers came out of there. A lot of great, you know, things can happen coming from those areas. But do you think because our people are in these areas, you don't matter as far as the justice system is concerned, as far as police are concerned?
True. That's the truth, because let me clarify it. I never lived in the Nickerson Gardens ever in my life. My son peers lived there. Like I told the police, it didn't matter if I did live there. Just because I lived in the Nickerson Gardens, that mean my child life didn't matter. See, that's the cold part about it, the stereotyping. People don't understand, just because you live in a certain area, that don't mean that that's your mentality. I grew up in Watts myself. I grew up on the east side, but I knew that I was destined to be more than just the east side. So my homies from where I came from was like, sis, You need to go on and soar whatever you trying to get out of life because you bigger than just the hood. You gonna be a product of environment that's gonna get out the hood and come back to the hood and make the hood shine. See, they stereotype us because of the color of our skin. See, it was sad when my son got killed. That's all they was concerned about was, oh, you lived in the Nickerson Gardens? How long you lived in the Nickerson Gardens? So I hit them with the same lingo. I said, how long you lived in the Nickerson Gardens? They said, oh, I never. I said, and I never either. How about that? But it's just a stereotyping. You feel me? You got to live in a certain place for you to be able to live. Nah, that's bullshit. If the projects are so bad, since they did this gentrification, why are they moving all these white motherfuckers in our neighborhoods and our projects? Since it's so goddamn bad, stay your white ass on your side, and we gonna stay our black ass on our side, and there won't be no goddamn problems. Stop trying to take over our fucking neighborhoods. Stay where the fuck you at, cause you a problem when you come in our neighborhoods. They showed it yesterday. It ain't the black people that's the problem. It's these white motherfuckers that's the problem. That jumped over the walls and thought they was doing something. And you already know what this gonna start. It's gonna make these white people think they hard than a motherfucker. And I'm waiting on their ass. I'm gonna beat me some Caucasians the fuck up. That. I'm gonna beat the shit out their ass. And I'm gonna let them know why I'm whooping their ass. This ain't the capital, motherfucker. This the hood.
Demetri.
Period.
Oh my God, you know what? I love it. You are a woman after my own heart. I love women who are gangsters and who are unapologetic. If we had just 200 more of you, it would be a game changer. Because often we see, now this is the people, ladies and gentlemen, this is the real backbone as a black woman, not that watered down stuff y'all see that they stroll into the polls and the black Democrat women. Nah, that's not the backbone. Lisa is the backbone of black people, and we really need to get behind people like Lisa because she is unafraid and she is unapologetic. I love it. I can just listen to you all day. I really don't even have any questions. Gary?
Well, I tell you what, you still got some work to do. And you want old 5-star to come down. I used to go to Southern Cal every Friday. I used to go to LA every Friday, man, just to go hang out on the show. So look like I'm gonna be coming down to LA to hang out. And what's so crazy, I did my first album in LA. Met a cat from Watts named Stratzilla. Took me up to Carson, California to his studio. And did my whole album just because we was just vibing. So I got plenty of good folk in Cali when I get there. But goddamn it, if you need some backup, I'm on my motherfucking way. And that's what it is, man. And I don't give a fuck. It don't scare me. It's time to call these people on the carpet. And I will say this here. What she's basically saying by keep your ass over there, that it's time to separate. We'll need to be amongst y'all. Y'all don't want us around y'all, man. As much as y'all placating the game, like you really want us to be a part of you, I don't see that. What I saw yesterday, I saw the cops let y'all in the motherfucking building. I saw the cops taking selfies with y'all. How in the fuck do 3 people in a fucking wheelchair penetrate one of the most secure buildings in the fucking world? Well, them were gang members. They had the wrong colors on because they were some Crips. Them was gang members. So my thing is this here. The way that y'all handle things when it's a black issue is not the way you handle things when it's a white issue. We already know you don't handle pulling up on a white kid the way you pulled up on Rich, the way you pulled up on Tamir. I'm still trying to figure out how you killed Tamir Rice in an open carry state where you can have a gun and be open carry. And you pull up on somebody with a gun and you automatically shoot them. Say, man, the longer we play this game, the worse it's going to get. So the thing is they ain't gonna fuck with Lisa. They want y'all to think she crazy. They said Martin Luther King was crazy too. They said Malcolm X was crazy too. They don't want to fuck with Gary Monroe. They say he crazy. They don't want to fuck with the real Black Panthers because they say they crazy. Now we ain't crazy, motherfucker. We woke. Donovan?
Absolutely. Like I said, I am, like I said, we have these different zones. You got Houston, you got Atlanta, you got all these places. But like I said, a lot of people think California is soft. But like I said, look, you're seeing fire right here in Southern California. We try to keep it as real as possible. I mean, the Crips was started right here, the Crips and the Bloods. So, how could two groups have so much influence across the nation in the Black community? So, but in all seriousness, though, Demetrius exactly right. We need more moms like you, because I'm getting so tired of seeing these moms out there talking about, well, we need to pray for those that spitefully use us. We need to do this and we need to do that. No, we need to judge them.
Donovan, let me tell you what we need. What we need is these families to stop motherfucking faking. I'm finna put it out there. What I mean by that, a whole bunch of you families, if that kid, Tamir, know his mama had a connection to him. But some of these older cats that's been murdered by the cops, you motherfuckers ain't have nothing to do with them boys, them girls. Y'all wasn't in their life. You motherfuckers making millions. That's why you do what the fuck them lawyers tell you. And you don't have no emotions about that person being on the ground because you did not know them. You were not in their motherfucking life. So anybody that want to test me on this one from Houston, Texas, about a nigga that went to school where I went to school, I'll be glad to tell you. Because I'm still trying to figure out, if you love George so motherfucking much, why in the fuck did George have to leave and go to Minnesota to get some fucking help to get his life in order? But you motherfuckers making millions off of it. The way we can figure this shit out is the authentic parents, whether they had a connection to them or not, should be the only people dealing with these situations. All these outside motherfuckers that's coming in, oh, that was my play cousin. Nigga, fuck you and your play cousin. Because you ain't got nothing to do with it. That's why you don't see them crying. That's why Crump can tell them do this and do that, and they get the money and then they run. No justice. When we gonna get some fucking justice? I tell you what, we gonna get some justice for Tamil. We gonna get some goddamn justice for Rich, because ain't nobody settling for no fucking ass $5,000 or any amount of money. We want these cocksuckers in jail.
Exactly. If more moms would exactly stop faking the funk and get real justice and put it out there. Because like I said, I would be afraid to have it now. Now my mom is something else within herself. So to have moms like you that are still around and ain't playing, and you're serious about your stuff, that is the backbone of the Black community. And we need more moms like you out there. I just wish that a Kamala Harris, a Jean Pierre, a Simone Sanders would get real and start representing like you're representing the community right now. So, I mean, thank you so much for not compromising. Demetra?
And let me say this, 4D say this. You can't expect for these politicians to go to bat for our children. 90% of these motherfucking politicians ain't come from where we come from. They didn't grow up like we grew up. They don't deal with the shit that we deal with on a daily basis. So they could give a fucking care less if Rich got shot 35 times. They could give a fucking care less if Tamir got shot. They don't give a fuck. And that's the part that I don't like about us, because we keep putting them bitches back in office and knowing they don't give a fuck about us. I'm sorry, D.
No worries. Lisa, has any of the Congress people from the district that Rich was murdered in, have they reached out to you? And how about an ambulance chaser like Benjamin Crump? Have you heard from him?
No, I reached out to Benjamin Crump on purpose 2 years ago just to see if he was going to ever contact me, because I found out he had an office in Santa Monica. Never contacted me. No congressman. None of them don't want to talk to me because I keep it too real. They like these fake bitches. I can't be fake. You killed my son. I'm going to tell you how I feel. I ain't going to sugarcoat that shit. I'm not going to make it nice and sweet for you, because after 70 shots, wasn't nothing sweet about you killing my motherfucking kid. So ain't nothing sweet about a conversation with the mother of Richard Risher, because I'm going to give it to you rough, rugged, and raw. You can reject, you can accept it or reject it, but it will be respected when it comes to my motherfucking son. You killed my son, and I'm trying to kill you with these bullets that's coming out my mouth. Period. They never apologized. They never told me they were sorry for my loss. So I ain't sorry for how I treat their ass. I'ma treat their ass every time I come across them. I'ma say what the fuck I want to say. I'ma be disruptive, disrespectful, all that. I'ma be everything that's all negative because y'all already said that I was this person, so I'ma be who you want me to be. I'm not gonna be this nice lady that say, "Oh, the police wasn't wrong for killing my son." You a motherfucker lie. They assassinated mine. And I want their ass to be assassinated too. Eye for eye, tooth for a tooth. You kill mine, why I can't kill you? Period.
And trust me, D, they waiting on them in them California state penitentiaries if they can get them convicted. They waiting
that
on them.
part.
Often when we hear about black men and boys or anybody black being murdered, most of the time we only hear from the mothers. We only see the mothers. Why do you think that is? Where are the men? Now I know we have people like 5-star General, but overall, where are the men? Why is it so many women? And I mean, including something like Black Lives Matter, it's all women. They have a few men here and there, but for the most part, at the top, it's women. Why do you think that is?
Hey, before she said, I'm gonna throw my 2 cents in there before she said. The reason you don't see the men because there's organizations like Black Lives Matter that's turning them into fucking women.
Mm-hmm. And another reason why you don't see the men because, like he said, Black Lives Matter. They get with these mothers and they put these fathers down. And I tell the mothers, they get mad at me because I'll be like, well, shit, if you never had, if you wouldn't have met this man, you wouldn't have had your child. So how can a whole bunch of women that don't like men tell you to stand down from a man? See, I need all my brothers on my team. See, I fucks with all the men, the fathers that's willing to fight for their children. I fucks with them in this fight because I need my men in my fight. You feel me? Because a lot of these women, they talk a good game, but I need a brother on my side. So when I throw a rock, I know for sure he gonna throw a rock with me. Not I throw a rock and this motherfucker that's standing beside me that's talking all this shit beat Carl Lewis to the finish line. You feel me? I love my men. You feel me? And Black Lives Matter, them gay ass bitches, they don't want no men to be involved because they think they men and they're not. And that's the problem. They don't have balls, but they walk around like they got big dicks. And then when you get to talking about their ass, then they looking for sympathy. And if I tell them, all of them, if you're looking for sympathy, it ain't never moved out the dictionary. It's between shit and syphilis.
Say, bottom line, I mean, you speaking your truth. When you come to the war zone, you need to come locked and loaded. And tonight she locked and loaded. And that's what it is. She said Crump ain't shit. Black Lives Matter ain't shit. All the police officers involved ain't shit. The government ain't shit. Say, man, you gonna understand if you go back and really see why groups like Public Enemy got pushed aside so fucking fast. Yeah, they'll let you have NWA. But they ain't want you to listen to Public Enemy at all. They ain't want you to listen to Chuck D because he was giving it to you real. So y'all bamboozled by these government suckers. You bamboozled by these government suckers. And see, at the end of the day, our children are under attack. Now, my baby on here, and she said it's her murder. I ain't gonna say her comment because I keep her at the line of fire. But the only thing I can tell you, little mama, you ain't got no worries because you got a motherfucking monster on your team. I'm telling you that now. Do something to mine, bitch, you gonna get it. No matter how I go down, I will bail your funk ass out of jail and get you, partner.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I know you said you have a court date in May. What would you like everybody else to try to do to help you raise awareness and get you closer to the goal of seeking justice and actually getting justice for your son?
All I want my people to do is to stop listening to these legislators, movements, networks, orgs, these politician people, because they not for us. They don't care what happens to our children. They don't care what happens to us as individuals. All I want y'all to do is follow my lead because I'm on the winning team and I'm winning. And I ain't gonna lose because God ain't gonna let me lose because he know that they wasn't supposed to kill my son the way they did. And they lied and now they caught up with all their lies. So now they want to try to ease the pain. We ain't easing no pain. I want to put extra pressure on them. I want everybody to show up at my court date. I want everybody to be in there so the pigs don't have no room to be in the courthouse, period. I ain't playing with these cats. I'm willing to take it all the way, like I told them. You're going to have to shoot 70 shots at me like you shot at my kid to shut me up because I will never be quiet about the death of my son, period.
Real quick, before we get out of here and things like that, like I said, this has been eye-opening. I love it. As you know, that area that you live in is near Maxine Waters' district, basically. You're in Maxine Waters' district. What has Aunt Maxine done in your plight to help you? Because as you know, she gets out of her car when she sees a black man being stopped by the police and all that other stuff. So could you just enlighten people? Because I don't want people to misconstrue my narrative on Maxine Waters.
My son got killed right around the corner from her house. From her school in Watts. And she ain't never reached out to me. She ain't never tried to say, hey, sister, I'm sorry for your loss. Maxine Waters is a fraud. You know, she the one that was trying to get all the people of the Nickerson Gardens back in the day. She was trying to get that medical van to go up in the projects and inject them people with AIDS. She been in the Congress for Los Angeles for over 40 years, and she ain't never did nothing for nobody. So that bitch ain't my auntie. I don't know who auntie she is, but she ain't mine.
Final thoughts, Ms. Demetri.
I'm just gonna piggyback off of what I said earlier. Lisa is the backbone of Black people. Okay, the mother is, the Black women is the mother of civilization, the first teacher, everything. And there's, my mom is no longer here, but I'll tell you this much: there's nothing like having a mother who will fight tooth and nail for you, regardless. And so we need more women like Lisa, and let's get behind Lisa. And if you can just even raise awareness about what's going on with her case, because admittedly I didn't know about it, and a lot of you all probably didn't know about it. And so the more we know and the more we spread it, then it's obviously not hidden. And so Lisa, I'm with you 100%. I wish you luck, and I believe that you will be successful in seeking justice for your baby. So I'm with you.
Final thoughts, Donovan.
Ms. Simpson, again, thank you for coming on the show. A lot of our guests and a lot of our friends out here, I want to know if you have a website or a Facebook page where they can follow you and stay up with you. And if you have a
Facebook page is BEATRICE Simpson. And I don't have a face on there because I didn't want the police to be all on my page.
Yes.
My foundation is Richard Risher, RISHER Foundation.
And
telephone number, because I like to get personal with my people. You feel me?
Amen. Amen. And again, for everybody tonight that's been watching this War Zone, this is what the War Zone's about. The new Black media. You're not going to get stories like this on mainstream media. So continue to tune in. Not only our platform, there's other platforms out there as well, but you're not going to get stories from our people like you get here in the War Zone with the 5-star general.
Well, I'm gonna say this here, man, that our first true test at us being where we need to be will be next week in Cleveland, Ohio, when we go to stand in solidarity with our sister, Samira Rice. I'm gonna say it one time in my Cedric the Entertainer voice. I wish a motherfucker would. You gonna give us the same respect that you gave them white folk yesterday who was sitting at Pelosi's desk. you're going to give us the same respect. And more importantly, when it's all said and done, you're going to give us justice one way or the other. Now, tomorrow night, because Demetri told me, man, we need some more guests on the show. They call it Black Girl Magic down in Houston. 19 black females won 19 judgeships. But one of y'all got a motherfucking problem. And tomorrow night, my man Art Smith gonna come on the show and tell all of y'all, he from 5th Ward, Texas, how this judge decided to take a building that he uses for commercial use and give it to a motherfucking stranger who has no ties to it. She never read the evidence. She never did anything. Trust me, you don't want to miss this one, because this gonna shock you. And all you Black Girl Magic judges that's watching, remember one thing. The road to greatness, when you want to be elected, goes through 5-star. And I'll turn your goddamn Black Girl Magic into Black Girl Voodoo next fucking November. Say, man, I want to thank y'all for tuning in. I want to thank my good friend Donovan Sadiq and the Queen Demetri K. Hey, Lisa, thank you. And until tomorrow night, it's the War Zone. New Black Media. You don't get no better than this here. We'll holler at y'all.